Hello, hello. Welcome to the Blooming Lotus Healing channel. My name is Jikara and I am a spiritual healing facilitator, and I am super excited to be doing a solo live day. So typically I do have people coming in to share, but today we are going to be learning together about soul relationships and soul family. And I'm super excited. So a couple of announcements I wanted to do here before we get started. I have a wonderful Evolve Me practitioner who's going to be joining me next week. He's going to be doing some readings, some psychic readings, and he's going to be teaching us some how to connect with our intuition. So that's going to be really exciting. So make sure that you come back on next Thursday. We will be learning how to connect to our intuition, which is a really great segue for the class that I'll be teaching. I'm going to be teaching a soul relationships class, starting on January 21st. And so that's what I'm going to be talking about for the next month or so, kind of giving you a little bit of a taste of what is the class about. So welcome, Marie, Seashells, Team Jikara. Yes. So super excited to be here and to share with all of you. And yeah, so let's go ahead and get started with a little meditation. I know that some people are still coming in, but we're going to get started to open the container, to really bring some beautiful awareness into ourselves and to be grounded. And hi, Edie, welcome. And after that, of course, as you already know, I will be doing a reading, twin flame reading afterwards. Since today we're going to be talking about the soul relationships, and we're going to be learning about soul relationships. Then after that, we will be doing readings. So if you're curious to know about your soul relationships, and especially with loved ones or not so loved ones, sometimes relationships that show up in our lives, they're karmically there to teach us lessons. So we'll learn a little bit about that today, which is some of the things that you're going to be learning in my class that I'm launching on January 21st. So yes, hi Sandra, welcome. Super excited to have y'all here. So let's go ahead and get started with a small meditation. We're going to just get ourselves grounded so we can receive the information that I'm going to be sharing with you today, and also receive the guidance that you're going to receive today after on the second half of this live, okay? So I just want to invite you to take a moment to take a couple of deep breaths. You're going to take a deep breath through your nose and out through your mouth. And I want to invite you to make sure that your feet are firmly planted on the ground and that you are rolling your shoulders back, that your spine is straight. But try to do it to where it's not too don't do it too strict, right? Try to do it very soft and gently, but also being aware that your spine needs to stay straight, okay? So I want to invite you to take a moment to take that deep breath. You can close your eyes now. Take that deep breath through your nose now. And release your mouth. Releasing through your mouth. Take another deep breath and really try to send your breath to the bottom of your belly. Take that deep breath through your nose. Send that deep into your belly and release your mouth. All the way out. Take another deep breath. Make it count. Take a deep breath through your nose. And release your mouth. One last breath. Take a deep breath. Send that in. Allow your belly to expand, and release. If you want to release with a sigh. And release until you have nothing else to release. And immediately go back to your regular breath. And now I just want to invite you to take a moment to really bring your awareness back to yourself. Just notice if there's any tension of the day. Maybe you've been thinking about something that's on your mind very often throughout the week or throughout the morning or the day yesterday, or maybe the entire year or the month. Just consciously acknowledge these things that are in your mind, and you're going to, with your breath, without changing anything, you're going to imagine all of your energy being pulled back to you. You're going to call your energy back to you. So now we're going to call our energies from all time space, all parallel universes and lives, dimensions. We're going to call everything back to us so that we can be present in this moment with ourselves, recognizing that part of being human creates these experiences of being distracted with our mind, and that's okay. So not beating yourself up for that, but giving yourself permission to just consciously be aware of it and acknowledge where you are, and bringing yourself back into your center, into your heart space. Imagine all of your energy being unplugged from everything outside of the world and brought back into your heart. And now I just want to invite you to visualize in your mind's eye, with every breath you take, there's this beautiful white and golden light being infused into your breath and sent into your lungs. Bring your awareness into your lungs and notice the beautiful expansive energy that you are creating with every breath you take. You don't have to do anything but just be and exist in your awareness. And just that being is expansive. Just really being in that beautiful essence of expansion. And send gratitude to your lungs for keeping you connected to the energy of Spirit of God. Keeps you alive. Really being connected to the essence of breath of life, how you are alive now. Bringing your awareness into the aliveness of your body. Try to feel the pumping of your heart. And in your mind's eye, just visualize all of your organs just working properly, automatically. How you have this beautiful organic machine that is keeping you alive. Just send gratitude to your entire body. Feeling grounded in gratitude, feeling grounded in feeling alive now. And now I just want to invite you to focus your attention at the bottom of your feet. We're going to ground into Mother Earth. Just try to feel into every inch of your foot, of both of your feet, and try to trace your feet. Try to feel into every inch and how your body is in constant communication with Mother Earth. Mother Earth knows how you feel. She knows your energy. She understands you because you're always communicating with her through your energy. Visualize your feet growing roots from the bottom of your feet, going down into the ground. And with every breath you take, you relax and become even more soft and gentle within yourself. And as you grow deep, deep into the ground, you notice the other trees. And the way that you notice the other trees is by seeing the other roots that are underneath the ground. You notice that you're surrounded by many roots that are also supporting you. And as you continue to go deep into the ground, you notice the waters that are silently washing through underneath the ground. Continuing to go down into the heart of Mother Earth. And there's this beautiful lake, this lovely lake of blue and golden energy. and it's in the form of water. And you can see this golden and blue water. And in the middle, there's this giant tree. This tree is lit up, and it looks like this beautiful, loving, welcoming energy. It has fruits that look like diamonds. They sparkle. And flowers that look like gold, and they sparkle. This is unlike any tree you've ever seen. And this tree is infusing the love and support into the waters. I want to invite you to bring your roots into that water and anchor yourself in that water. Visualize this beautiful blue and golden light coming upward towards the bottom of your feet. As you feel the blessing and the love of Mother Earth anchoring you down into this beautiful planet full of abundance and support. This beautiful light continues to go up towards your legs, your bottom, your hips, your lower belly, your torso, your back, all the way to the top of your shoulders, all the way up to your chest, making its way down towards your arms, all the way to your hands and your fingertips, making its way up towards your neck and the back of your neck, continuing to go up towards the back of your head, this beautiful blue and golden light infusing into your body. And with every breath you take, you receive this beautiful loving light that grounds you and supports you. Now, this light continues to go towards your jaw, your chin, your ears. You can unclench your jaw, your nose and your cheeks, your eyes, your eye sockets, your eyebrows, your forehead, all the way to the top of your head. You're now in this beautiful, loving energy of Mother Earth, infusing you with support, protection, abundance, expansion. Now I just want to invite you to visualize your crown, the crown that is part of your royalty. I want to invite you to visualize yourself sitting on a throne, grounded in Mother Earth. You're sitting on this beautiful throne, encrusted with crystals. And this throne, when you look down, you notice that you are wearing robes, these beautiful white robes that flow and are soft against your body. Visualize yourself as the royalty that you are, because you come from that bloodline of royalty at the soul level. Feel into that essence. And as you notice your crown, you see that your crown lifts up 4 fingers above your head, and it starts to turn into a lotus flower. This lotus flower opens up, calling upon your higher self. And with the protection of Archangel Michael, as we open ourselves into this space, we clear, remove, and send to a perfect place all entities that don't serve the highest good of these souls. We clear, remove, and send to a perfect place and elevate the vibration of each one of these souls. Archangel Metatron is here, activating your connection to your higher self. Visualize your crown lighting up this golden and orange light. And now there's this beautiful light coming from above, coming down from the heavens, connecting you to Spirit. As it makes its way towards your crown, you feel that connection. That connection to your truth and your true essence. And that essence of royalty of who you are. Reclaim your divine royal power. As you continue to visualize this beautiful light, this light comes through your crown, spiraling on a clockwise way down towards your third eye, the area in the middle of your eyebrows, continuing to go down towards your throat, continuing to go down towards your heart space, the middle of your chest, continuing to go down towards your solar plexus, the area right above your belly, your upper belly, continuing to go down towards your sacral, the area on your lower belly, continuing to go down towards your root, the area right at the tailbone. And now you're going to allow this light, this golden and orange light, come down towards the bottom of your feet, activating your star and earth chakra. This in turn connects the energy of the sky, of spirit and earth, and you serve as that liaison. You are the one that carries both, and that's why you are royalty. You have chosen this life, this path, because you have much to learn. And as you learn, you expand. And as you learn, you are not alone. Now, as you sit here on this beautiful throne, look around you. There are many other thrones all around you, and you're part of a circle. And you notice that as there are other thrones, there are also other people, other souls that are also here supporting you, interconnected with you. And this support looks differently here on this planet than in the ethers. But right now, you're seeing the beauty of that support in the ethers. You notice this beautiful marble floor, and all of these souls are also wearing white. All of these people you may or may not recognize. They're all part of your soul family. And they're here also to support you in your journey. They incarnate to help you discover your strength, discover your abilities, to overcome. Discover your ability to love, your ability to expand. That's what they're here for. And so, as they are here for that, you are also part of their support system. You're part of that ecosystem. Now, I just want to invite you to slowly become aware of your body. You may start moving your fingers and toes, and when you're ready, you may open your eyes, feeling ready to receive. All right, so I hope that you enjoyed that beautiful meditation, which was all channeled. All of my meditations are channeled. I don't know what's going to come out. So let me know in the comments how you feel after that meditation. Marie says, there's something about you, I don't know what it is, but very nice, or maybe or Venus is well placed. Thank you. Thank you, seashells. So let me know in the comments, how did that feel for you? And so this is going to be a really great segue for us to get ourselves in that mindset of soul relationships and soul family. Okay? And oh, Sandra says, I feel lovely. Yay, that's awesome. Hi, Luana. How are you? Welcome. And then Edie says, that was beautiful. Thank you. Hi, so relaxed. Thank you. Yes. Hi, Christy. Seashell says she feels great. Wonderful. I love that. I love that. So, yeah, so this is going to be a really great segue to the class that I'm going to be teaching. We're going to be covering everything that has to do with our soul family and the soul relationships that show up in our lives. I would love to open up any, if you have any questions about what soul family is or soul relationships are, as I go through what I'm going to be talking about, please feel free to ask questions. This is going to be a segue, like I mentioned, for a class I'm going to be teaching on the 21st. It's going to start the 21st of January. So some of the things that I'm sharing here, we're going to go a little deeper on the class. But the intention here is for you to learn the importance of these relationships and how they really do shape our experience here on this lifetime. And our souls are basically, the best way that I can describe this. So let's go ahead and get started from the beginning. So if you think about it, when we have, two people come together, they have a child, right? And there is a process of creation that happens there at the biological level. And so the best way that I can describe a soul being born is kind of like that, like the masculine and the feminine energy coming together and creating this other piece of the soul. Now, there's really no separation in spirit. In spirit is really everything is just kind of all is both the masculine and the feminine. There's no separation. And it needed to know itself, right? So spirit needed to know itself. The universe needed to know itself. So what happens is from that oneness, there is a separation that happens. So that's when the energy of separation, right, or duality was introduced, was for the purpose of the ability to have those perspectives, different perspectives, because when you have just that oneness, it's just that oneness. There's nothing else. Nothing is happening but that oneness. So that's the reason why the universe is so dynamic, is because we have so much separation, right? So separation is not always bad. And I know that in the spiritual community, we tend to say, we are one. And the reason why we say that is because oneness is really an important reminder for us, because sometimes separation can be extreme, right? It can be extreme to the point where to the point where we just operate from the egoic mind, and then we're making decisions that are not really for the highest good or really misaligned with our soul. So that's the reason why the idea of separation, we're kind of taught not to, to remember, right, that we are oneness. However, separation is not necessarily, wasn't created for in a way that, and it's bad. I don't want to think that for the purpose of this life, I don't want you to think that separation is bad. So for this example, so as the universe creates, it separates, right? So it could get to know itself in different aspects, in different dimensions, in different perspectives. And as a soul, we are separated from that oneness so that we can, start experiencing our own path. This is the reason why it's important that we recognize that we all have our own specific path in our lives, right? So we have a very unique way that we're made that is very unique to us, like basically like a fingerprint, right? And you guys let me know if I'm going too fast, or if you're not understanding something, feel free to ask questions. So like a fingerprint, right? So you are as unique, like your soul makeup, like your energetic combination, like those specific combinations of energies are very specific to you, and they don't change no matter how many times you incarnate or where you incarnate. I mean, we can go as deep as, planetary, right? So you can incarnate in different planets, and I don't want to really go into that too much today, but the idea is for you to understand that you have a very I want to say a blueprint, right? Like that blueprint of who you are. And what happens is that everything is organized. There's an organization within the universe. And when we are separated from that oneness, there's other souls that are also created. That's when the soul is created. So what happens is there's going to be different clusters that are going to be living together, right? So within those clusters, that's what we call the soul family, right? So those souls that are really connected to us in the cluster level, right? They're part of the same pod. I like to call them pods. So what happens is that within that cluster, you're going to have a certain amount of closeness in that relationship. Hence the reason why if you ever heard of twin flame, if anyone has heard of twin flame, that's where it comes from. It comes from basically the perspective of how close you are to that soul. There is a misconception that the twin flame is the other half of your soul. That is not true. The truth is that you are complete as a soul, okay? So it's important that you remember that you are definitely complete as a soul, and that you're capable of doing everything in your life. You're not missing something. Let's just say there's not a part of you that's missing. However, the twin flame, right, is so close to you that there is a really magnetizing energy and ignition that happens between you and that soul, right? So that's not the only relationship that exists. There are other relationships that are just as powerful as the twin flame. And I call those flame relationships, and they're part of the same, they're all going to be part of your same pod, right? But they're going to be in different, like they're not going to be as close. So imagine, like, for example, you have your twin flame is basically next to you like that, right? So you have your twin flame next to you like that. But then you have, so anyone that is next to you, so you're the one in the middle, anyone that is next to you, that's going to be your twin flame, right? Those two that are here are going to be your twin flames because they're next to you. And yes, you can have more than one twin flame. That is a thing. But those who are going to be next to that other one, right? Then at this point, the ones that are going to be next, right? They're outside, they're on the outer side. They're going to be also, because they're so close to you, they're still considered flames, but they're not twin flames. At that point, those are considered flame siblings, okay? So I'm gonna give you an example. Imagine you're looking at a flower, okay? So let's imagine a flower, and you have the petals on that flower. And inside that flower, you have all these petals. Inside that petal, there's going to be souls that are going to live there. Those souls that live inside that same petal are going to be your twin flames, right? Because they live inside the same petal. However, there's going to be other petals in that flower as well. But you're part of the same flower. Those who are part of the same flower, but souls that are in the other petals that are not part of your petal, right? Those are going to be your siblings, right? So you're going to be your flame siblings. Why are they flame? Because they're so close to you. And believe it or not, a lot of people confuse their twin flame with their twin sibling. The flame sibling, right? Why is that? Because the energy is very similar. You're coming from the same flower. You're gathering the energy from the same flower. So what happens is, when you're getting to the point of understanding the energy, right? That it's very hard for you to recognize who your twin flame is until you actually get either a reading by someone who connects to the Akashic Records, or you yourself get to research this on your own, okay? But it doesn't stop there. The soul relationship doesn't stop at the sibling. We also have cousins. So imagine you have a bouquet of flowers, and they're all part of the same bouquet, right? So those souls that are part of the same bouquet that you live in, but are not in the same flower, those are going to be your cousins, your flame cousins, right? And the reason why I'm saying it this way is so you can understand at the family level, right? Because we understand family. So it's kind of like it's extended family, but they're still flame because they're very close. It's like the first cousins. They're very close to us, right? So the energy is different than someone who's going to be like a third or fourth cousin, that they're not going to be as close to us, right? So typically, right? They're not going to be as close to us. So what I'm trying to say here is that anyone that is basically outside of your bouquet, let's just say, is going to be part of your, yes, there is a soul relationship, and typically those I consider soulmates, right? People who are, they're friends, they're friends of us, they're part of the same, we all come from the same source, but they're not as close to us because they're not part of the same specific flower or petal, flower, or bouquet, right? So think petal, flower, bouquet. Petal, flower, bouquet. So you have those who are living in the same petal as you, those souls that are living in the same petal as you, those are your twin flames. And yes, you can have more than one twin flame. Now, whether they all incarnate in this lifetime or not for you, that is up to whatever agreement that you guys have at the soul level. But typically there's only one that incarnates alongside with you, and only one that connects with you. However, there are people out there who have had connections with other twin flames, more than one twin flame. And typically it's not as typical, but it does happen. And then you also have, those again who are your siblings, who are also important in your life. So if you notice that so there's a couple of things that I want to mention here, is that some of these relationships are challenging, okay? So, and what happens is that, we tend to have this fantasy that things are going to be, beautiful and perfect and lovely, but that's not the reality. The reality is that we come here to experience challenges. That's why we come here into this earth, is that we come here to expand our knowledge of the human experience. We come here to experiment within these relationships. So it's important that you remember that. So you may have had someone in your life where you met them and you immediately felt this rejection towards them. There could be a karmic connection there, or there could also be a soul relationship connection that creates, especially if it's like really intense, and you're like, I don't know why I don't like this person. And sometimes we go into that place of hate, right? Like, I hate this person. I don't know why I hate them. Well, there could be a soul relationship connection with that person. Now, how close that person is to you, that's why you will learn in the class. You will learn how to determine that in the class. Okay, so let's see. Twin flame is The scribe has a lover, but it can be also a family member. Yes. So, Marie, that's a really good question. So there's definitely a possibility of your twin flame relationship being outside of the romantic spectrum. Okay, so it's important that we remember that the romantic spectrum, absolutely, that is one of the possibilities, but there are more than one possibility, and we have to honor these. Okay, we got to honor these, and we got to be mindful of this as well. So, what I'm sharing here may not be as popular in the popular in popular demand, right? Because people don't want to. Some people don't. Some people want to have that, that experience of that divine union. However, the divine union happens regardless if there's a romantic relationship or not. Because the divine union is all about recognizing each other's hearts and recognizing each other from a place of love. And it's not always romantic. Romantic relationships are just one layer of the ability that we have as humans to connect with each other. Okay, so we've been brainwashed and to believe that romance is the only way that we can reach higher levels of love, and that's not true. I don't think that, for example, if you have a mother and a child, for example, and they're twin flames, I could not think of a more beautiful relationship than that, right? So I'm not saying that that's the only beautiful relationship. Don't get me wrong. However, it's also recognizing that, that there's beauty in that relationship as well, and divine union can happen there as well, and it doesn't have to be fully in what would be romantic or sexual level. Okay, so it's important that we remember that. So if you have any questions so far, did everything is everything clear so far? Because I know this can be a lot, and that's the reason why the class I'm going to be teaching is going to really help you, because you're going to be experiencing it and actually dowsing yourself. So this is going to be a dowsing class. I created some charts, and you're going to be actually be able to determine your soul relationship with your loved ones or not so loved ones, especially if you have challenging relationships. And you'll be able to clear energy. So you'll be able to learn about that. So, okay, so everything is clear so far. Good. Just making sure. I want to make sure I don't lose you guys. Okay, so when we're looking at soul relationships, right? It's kind of interesting because the way they express themselves here on this planet can look different, right? Kind of like I was explaining, the twin flame can be a relationship between a parent, like parent and child. It can be, man and woman. It could be also, siblings. It can express in many ways. It could be friendships, so many ways. Now, there's another aspect that I feel it's important to remember, is that if you're in a twin flame journey, you don't want to ignore your other relationships as well. Like, there's other relationships that are part of your path that are also as important as the twin flame, which is going to be the flame siblings and the flame cousins. You don't want to, it's kind of like just focusing your energy just on one, and then not paying attention, like just ignoring the rest of your family. Like, well, okay, so I just hang out with my brother or my sister, and I don't pay attention to my parents. I don't pay attention to my cousins. I don't care. I just focus on this specific family member. That doesn't sound very balanced, does it? So it's important that we remember that that our relationships, our other relationships, are also important to nourish, and also important to recognize and acknowledge in our lives. So the way these relationships look at the etheric level are different than the way they're going to look here on the earth. And because we're experiencing everything here at the earth level, at the 3D level, we're going to be, let's just say, you're going to be basically seeing things differently. You're not going to really understand it at the moment, especially when there are challenges. you're not going to be as open to the etheric parts of things, right? You're going to be just really feeling the energies, but that is their purpose, right? So whatever challenges that show up in your relationships, they're there for a reason. They're there to mirror back to you parts of you that need healing, parts of you that need to grow, parts of the karmic entanglements that need to be addressed. Hence the reason why we typically check these things at the Akashic level, and we clear the entanglements and clear the programs. Why? Because, if you think about it this way, you haven't incarnated with these souls just one time, right? And if you think about where we come from as humanity and how close-minded we've been for so many centuries, do you really think that a lot of people resolved a lot of the karmic issues? Like, for example, if you had an argument with a loved one that happened to be your twin flame or your flame sibling or your flame cousin, or maybe just also a soulmate, just an extended part of your family. If you had an issue with that soul and you passed on, or that soul passed on, from here, from Earth, that's going to be carried over, right? So that's where we come in and we consciously become aware of this. This is why these things are coming out now, is because now is the time for us to become aware and open our mind and expand our mind to recognize that these are important relationships that we need to work on. Even if they don't get resolved here on Earth, on this lifetime, just by doing the clearing energetically, that's enough, right? So just know that when you do your clearing, if things don't shift automatically, and there's like, that's not going to, necessarily like shift everything automatically. Sometimes it does. Sometimes it was just the energy. But we also have to remember that the other soul has other entanglements and other things that they need to work on their own as well. So if they haven't done the work, then at least you do your part. You cut the cords of the parts, or you heal the cords. I don't like to talk about cutting cords because we're really never disconnected. What I really do believe is that we always have the cords, and we never really cut them. We just heal the cords, right? So we heal the cords, right, between us and that person gets to do their part with whatever other entanglements they may carry at the soul level for their own path. And if maybe the only entanglement was those specific cords or those specific programs, then that could potentially shift the energies between you guys. And then you can see that at the physical, relationship level. Meaning like you can see that change for that person, and then even for you. However, you also want to remember that when you clear things between you and that person, it's really about you really growing. It's your own soul's growth. So it's by you integrating those lessons and you being able to move into a place of forgiveness, a place of peace, a place of unconditional acceptance and love for yourself first, and then the other person. Okay, so Moonstruck is asking, so my twin flame could even be my daughter or my mom? Yes, your twin flame can definitely be your daughter or even your mom. It could be a cousin even. It could be basically anyone. And it could also be a stranger. It could also be someone that is meant to be, that you're meant to be in a relationship with. However, the way that you find these things out is by doing the readings for yourself. So by actually going in and asking your higher self this information. So, and the interesting thing about this though is that when you find out this information, it gives you that sense of awareness and that sense of assurance that yes, that there's this is the person, the right person, and okay, I see the entanglements, I see the challenges, and then being able to see the challenges because the system that I created also highlights what the challenges are going to be. It helps you at least see clearer and have that higher perspective of what's happening, so that way you're not so overwhelmed with the energy and the troubles that are caused in the relationships here. Now, that doesn't mean that all soul relationships have to be difficult. Some soul relationships are clear and they're actually amazing, and there's no entanglements, there's no issues, and you have this beautiful, loving, expansive energy between you and the other person, okay? However, for the purpose of the class that I'm going to be teaching, we're going to be focusing on those relationships that are difficult, right? Because we want to make sure that we clear all these energies between us and the other person. It also helps the other person, but more so it helps us. It helps us find that inner peace, live our lives on a daily basis a little easier, and not feel so overwhelmed by the energies. Now, I'm going to give you some real life examples in my own life, okay, and how this has applied in my life. And my real life examples are very odd to the twin flame, world, and I love that. I love that it's odd because it refutes the one frame of mind. It kind of gives that expansive understanding that these relationships can be expressed so differently for everyone. So it's important that you recognize that your relationships between you and the souls that you're connected with are unique to you, and they're going to be expressed unique to you. So it's very hard for us to write a blog and say these are the signs of the relationships, and you feel like that is you, because sometimes you're going to feel like, this doesn't apply for me, and that's okay. If it doesn't apply for you, these signs that this, I know you guys have seen these blogs out there where it's like signs that this is your twin flame, or signs that this is that, and there's these descriptions of things that you could be feeling, and some of them do apply, some of them don't, but sometimes none of it applies. And then you feel like, well, is there something wrong with me, or is there something, that's what I love about my class, is that you're going to feel empowered, not only empowered in the fact that you're finding the information for yourself, but also empowered in the fact that you know your truth and you know your own path. You discover your own path, your own information. So for my own example, I'm going to give you the real life example for me. So I got married to, I'm actually, this is my second marriage, right? So this time that I got married with Haresh. But my first marriage, he was my first love. I was in love with him. I could not stop thinking about him. We met when we were 15, and I always felt like this, like, soul connection with him, which there was a soul connection, but it was more karmic. And I thought, at the time I didn't know what a twin flame was, but I thought that he was my soulmate, right? We would consider a soulmate. And then we ended up getting married, and it ended up being terrible. And there was domestic violence. He almost killed me. It was so bad. It was really traumatic, and to say the least. I mean, it really was very hard to overcome that part of my life. And I had to leave, and then we broke up, and that really ignited my spiritual journey. And that was back in 2015 when we separated and we divorced and everything. And so it was interesting because I am eternally grateful to him. He was a karmic relationship, so he was a soulmate, meaning at the etheric, for the purpose of this, of what I'm talking today, he's the etheric, fifth cousin or something, like very far away from me. However, we had, he came to help me, right? To help me ignite. And yes, it was unsavory, to say the least, to have to go through all these experiences. However, it ignited my ability to connect to my inner guidance. It ignited my ability to see the purpose of relationships, and it ignited so much of my spiritual journey of self-awareness and becoming aware of self and how I was affecting the world around me. And if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't have gotten here to where I'm at now. So he was a pivotal point for me, a very important part of my life. So now, look, of course, at the time when I was going through it, I wasn't feeling like this. I was in victim mode. I was upset. I was crying. I didn't feel good enough. All of these different experiences, right? So this is where I want to invite you to recognize that, if you're experiencing something, you're in the middle of something, feel all of that stuff. It's okay. You're human. That's what you're here to experience. Eventually, as you go through your journey, you start integrating all of the lessons because, things, we go through our grieving process, And then from that point on, we're able to see clear. Oh, wow, these are the silver linings that were happening. And then now I can look back and be grateful for him. I am eternally grateful to my ex-husband. And I love him so much. I'm so grateful to him. Now, does that mean that I'm going to go back to him and I'm going to, get married? Of course not. It just means that I'm grateful for the experience that we had. And I'm grateful that I've learned so much about myself through that experience with him, and that I can see how he was a teacher in my life. I thought that he was my twin flame. He wasn't. So later down the road, I'm like, okay, well, I'm seeking the twin flame, because of course at the time I wasn't, I was single, and I was like, well, maybe, and I'm already going a little deeper into my path. I'm opening my Akashic records. I'm doing a little bit of readings here and there, and, and I'm in this journey, right, of like, well, so who is the person for me, right? And I want a divine partner, and and I have to have the twin flame. And then, later down the road, I get introduced to the work of SRT, and then I get introduced to the concept of the family and the relationships. And it's interesting because it just made so much sense to me. And when I started doing the research for myself, I then realized, oh my gosh, my twin flame is not even incarnated. And I felt, oh my gosh, so my twin flame is not incarnated. So is there something wrong with me? No. My twin flame is serving me as one of my guides. And so that's beautiful, right? So your relationship with your twin flame can be in the ethers as well. So they could not be incarnated, or maybe they'll incarnate later. But for me, he's not planning to incarnate. He's planning to stay with me. And I'm going to give you another curveball here. The reason why I know now that he didn't incarnate is because I actually shifted flowers. I went from one flower to another flower. And in the middle of going through my awakening, I met this man who I was madly in love with, but I couldn't be with. He's gay. Okay, and I couldn't be with him, and I remember having the visions, going into the Akashic records and seeing the visions of him and I growing old together, and I couldn't understand why we couldn't be together in this lifetime. Like, what's happening? And I was going bonkers. I was just like, I couldn't understand, and the energy was exactly the same. That energy, that very magnetic energy, and I couldn't stop thinking about him, and I was like, what is going on? Later down the road, then I realized that he was my former twin flame, and we needed to, the reason why my twin flame is in the ethers is because my twin flame has been guiding me this entire time to help me overcome all of the entanglements, all of the karmic energies that I had with this other twin flame. So then later down the road, in other lifetimes, he and I can work together on this together on the same lifetime. But in this lifetime, I had to work in that relationship. So, I mean, this is what I want to say is that your twin flame journey is going to be unique to you. Like, how unique is this journey for me, right? And that doesn't mean that divine union is not a thing. Of course it is, but also know that, if divine union is not happening in your life, there's nothing wrong with you. And learning the truth of your path and what path you're on, if you are in divine union path or not. It's an important, and you're going to be able to learn that as well. So if you are truly in that divine union path, then really recognizing that, and then what I mean by divine union is by being in a relationship with that person that is romantic. Okay, that's what I mean by that divine union of that romantic relationship. Again, like I mentioned earlier, divine union can be also part of, divine union is actually already happening in the ethers. Okay, so the union is always there. It's just that expression of that divine union happening here at the earth level. So that's in general what the soul relationships are. So, with this journey of my own twin flame journey, which has been really beautiful, I have seen in the last 7 years that I've known this soul, we've overcome so much karmic crap. I mean, the amount of growth that we've experienced together is exponentially higher than I've experienced with anyone else, which is incredible. But we signed up for that. We signed up to be able to overcome these things together, to help each other, so that we can move on in our own path, so that we can, leave everything organized for ourselves so that we can move on with our own path. So, that could be also a possibility for you. That your twin flame is not incarnated, and that you may have a former twin flame that you have a lot of entanglements with that you need to clear. And it's not an easy path. Let me tell you what, it was very, very messy. It was so messy. So that's a real life example of my twin flame path. Now I'm going to give you a real life example of my own, like the other soul relationships. So my husband, my current husband, he is my soul sibling. So he's part of the same flower, but he's not in the same petal as I am. But we are in the same flower. So we are basically working through a lot of karmic stuff. So one of the downloads that I received from Spirit was that he and I came together in this lifetime because in many lifetimes we couldn't complete having a relationship, an actual relationship together, like an actual marriage. We were denied marriage many times. So in this lifetime, we are experiencing a lot. We quite literally, from the side of his family, which is interesting, we experienced a lot of rejection from the side of his family around our union, and that's partly karmic. So it's like understanding that, and it's not easy. It's not easy to deal with. However, is recognizing that that this is just part of the karmic journey that we have, and then the intention for us coming together is to overcome that karma by living our truth, regardless of whatever energies were influencing around us, which in other lifetimes they influenced enough to where they didn't allow us to be together in the first place. So this lifetime, we're meant, we actually came together as two souls that actually got married, which that didn't happen in another lifetime. So then the fact that we had that happen, and the other message that I got when we both did some healing, and he's been also very open to healing, just like I am. We started doing Vipassana. Like the way that we started our relationship was really interesting. We went on a 10-day retreat within the 3 months of being together, 4 months of being together, Hi, Vanita. Yes, we went to a Vipassana retreat within 4 months of being together. We were just dating, and we went on a 10-day silent retreat together. Not a lot of souls do that, but we did that because the energy of our relationship is based on that. Is based on doing the work individually and together. And then we did the ayahuasca retreat together. And then during that retreat, I got a lot of messages where we are the ones that are breaking the patterns in both of our families, right? So we are the light bearers of our families. And the more I research the records for us, the more I find out that we are here to do we're here to be changers, okay? Changers of our families. So we're pivoting a lot of energies. And, when you pivot energies that have been going one direction for so many centuries, it's kind of hard to do, there's a lot of resistance basically that's going to come up, which is what we experience, right? So, but that's our relationship. And then now with my mother-in-law and my husband and I, we've had trio situations in many lifetimes. So I remember when we first met, there was this energy of jealousy between her and, that she was feeling towards me, and there was this like rejection, and, and come to find out that, in another lifetime, they were actually together, they were married, and I was the third wheel, let's just say the other woman, and so that energy was showing up, and I did not know that at the time when the energy was showing up, but when I did the research, then that was revealed to me, and then everything made sense. We clear the programs, of course, and we clear the energies, and of course we're living a different experience now, right? Where their mother and child, and then I am I'm actually the wife now. But so of course we have to clear those energies so that way the energy is healthy between us. But as you can see, and she's also part of my soul family. She is a soul sibling. It would be a flame sibling. So she's part of the same bouquet, but not part of the same flower. Another aspect that I wanted to mention too is you can change flowers like on this lifetime. Like my husband and I were flame cousins. Like, so we were part of the same bouquet, but he was in a different flower. He shifted over after we did the ayahuasca ceremony. So we all play different roles. Yes, Vanita, that's true. So this is a real life example of how soul relationships express themselves here on this planet. So they're not expressed always the same, and we're going to play different roles in all the different lifetimes. And recognizing this and remembering this and having this bird's eye view perspective of things, it's an important step for us to open our hearts and open our minds to recognize the importance of honoring that part of our soul experience and how that affects our relationships here now in real time. So one last thing that I wanted to mention too, sometimes I'll wake up and I'll be just like, I'll be so angry at Haresh, and I'll be like, why am I angry at him? And then I check and I have, certain things from other lifetimes or even parallel lifetimes that come up and that we need to clear. So if you're suddenly feeling like angry with someone and you don't know where it's coming from, or maybe you're feeling, there could be some stuff that you have to clear between you and that person. So now, we can do some clearings. So the things that I'm going to be teaching you in the class, you're going to be able to do some clearings. But anything more in depth like SRT, that's definitely something you can come to me for. I can't legally like teach SRT because that's protected by the Spiritual Response Association. It can only be taught by an actual SRT teacher. Eventually, I'm trying to get to that point where I'm able to teach it. However, I created my own modality to help you clear crap between you and the other person. Now, if you need SRT, then definitely you can go to an SRT practitioner and get that cleared through the practitioner. But you still have the upper hand by clearing stuff and gunk that doesn't serve your highest good between you and the person that you love or the person that you're having challenges with. So, yeah. So let me know in the comments, how did you feel about this? Do you have any questions about what I mentioned so far? And also, I'm kind of curious to know, like, do you have anyone in your life that you're kind of curious to know what your soul relationship is with them? If you are curious about that, the second part of the live is going to be all about finding out your soul relationship with them, and also finding out what the challenges are. And if there's any clearing that needs to happen that I can do very quickly for you, I will do that for you. So let me know in the comments. I want to know if you have anyone in your family or friendships or any sort of relation. It could be even a coworker, right? Like it could be so many people in our lives that we are part of, that are part of our lives, right? Like so many people that we're connected to at work, at church, in the community centers, at the gym. Like there's so many people that we connect to. So yeah, okay, Vanita, tell me what's your brother's first name, and then I'll take a look. I'll take a look and see. If you do, Rupesh, okay, thank you. So just like Vanita mentioned, if you have someone that you want to check, just let me know their first name, and then I will check your soul relationship with them, okay? And if there's anything that needs to be cleared, then we can do that. And then just give permission to your higher self to connect to mine. So we're going to start with Vanita first. And then we're going to check on Rupesh. Okay. Do you have permission to connect to Vanita's higher self? Yes, please connect to her higher self. Thank you. Percentage connection. Okay. Is there any blocks? Okay. What is her soul relationship with Rupesh? So soulmate. So he is your soulmate. And soulmate means that they're not part of your same bouquet, like I was mentioning. So he's kind of like extended family at the soul level, okay? And the purpose of his relationship and yours is to learn sobriety. So sobriety can look in many forms. Sobriety of emotions, sobriety of substances, or any other sort of sobriety. So that is the purpose of your relationship with Rupesh. And I see here that the energy quality, so you are at the highest expression of your relationship with him when you are in awareness of self first and awareness of others. Okay. I see here there's some challenges that are related to curses. We're going to go ahead and clear that between you and Rupesh. So please clear Rupesh and Vanita. Thank you, Spirit. Anything else? No. I see the solutions right now is to clear blocks and interferences. So we're going to clear blocks and interferences between you and Rupesh. Hi, Chris. Yes, we can check. We can check. Anything else here? I'm seeing here that also a healing action for you that you could do between you and him is to do an SRT clearing. I do see some programs that that need to be cleared at the SRT level. So, but we did clear some energies between you and him right now. And but yeah, so that is the relationship that you have with him. Okay, so it's basically very karmic. Yes, definitely interferences. And then there's some programs too that we need to, so if you want to book a session, you can go to my website and we can, when you feel ready, you can go to my website and we'll do a soul relationship clearing between you and him. Okay. We can do that. There is an option for soul relationship clearing and soul family clearing. And then we can address other people as well. So we don't have to just address him and you. We can address other people as well. Okay, so I am complete. Thank you, Spirit. Please disconnect. You're so very welcome, Vanita. Yeah, so, but you can continue clearing, and I know you're a very powerful healer yourself. So just what I would say for you, just continue sending like healing energy towards, try to imagine this cord between you guys, and then try to imagine this cord being like healed and clear as much as possible. Okay, so, and send healing to that, okay, to that cord between you and him. Okay, so let's see. Okay, so I see that Anis Bosley wants to know if the person, what's her relationship with the person that she's dating, and then she said Jose. Okay, so we are now with Anis, and then after that will be Moonstruck, Christine. So I'm gonna ask you to give your higher self permission to connect to mine. So do I have permission to connect to Anis? Thank you. Please connect to her higher self. Okay, connected 100%. So we're gonna check what is the soul relationship between Anis and Jose. Okay, so he is your flame cousin. So he's part of your same. So remember, like I was talking about, you have the flower, the petal, the flower, and then the bouquet. He's part of the same bouquet, but he's not in the same flower. So you're still very close. Okay, and it's beautiful energy, because that means that there's a sense of connection between you guys that is beyond, beyond the typical. Oh, wow. And your purpose with each other is to activate each other's soul purpose. That's beautiful. So that's a beautiful energy that you have there. Now, the energy qualities between you guys. So freedom. So the expression of your relationship between you guys is at the highest vibration when you are practicing freedom of self, freedom of expression, freedom of speech, freedom of love, freedom of just being. That freedom energy, that is what's going to really be that highest expression. If you're not in that highest expression, that means that there could be things that need to be cleared between you and him, or rather within yourself, or rather within himself. Okay, and then challenges between you guys. I see some curses. We're gonna go ahead and clear that. Please clear curses. That's very typical. Curses can happen in other lifetimes, and then sometimes it kind of get like they carry over. There's also the challenge of codependence, which makes sense. Codependence is not the expression of freedom, so really clearing that. So it's important that you move from codependence into interdependence, right? Interdependence is where it's at. Doesn't mean that we have to be like super separated from each other. It just means that we depend on each other, but we're not codependent. We're still given freedom. There's still an essence of freedom there. So we're clearing that energy between you guys. Thank you, Spirit. But you want to make sure that you keep an eye out for that codependence energy. Okay, I see here that okay, so I'm clearing, looking into solutions between you guys is to do an SRT research and healing between you guys. There's some programs from other lifetimes that are showing up. But also another thing that you can do in the meantime is to do a mantra. And I'm hearing Ganesh. So Ganesh mantras, so just listening to any Ganesha mantras that remove obstacles, that will help in the meantime for you. But if you feel inclined to, and I'm going to put here for you guys, if you want to book a session and you're ready, you can go here to book a session, okay? You can go there to book a session, and the best sessions to book are the soul relationship ones, okay? That's the one that you want to book, because that's where we're going to be focusing on your relationships with your loved ones, okay? And then let me see here. Oh, Sandra, yeah, love hurts sometimes, yes, but it shouldn't hurt. It shouldn't hurt. Merry Christmas, Jikara, and all. Oh, thank you. Merry Christmas to you. Okay, so let me see. So it was Vanita, and then now Anis. Okay, so Anis, that was it for you. I'm gonna disconnect from your higher self now. Please disconnect. Thank you. No, okay, thank you. And then now we're gonna move on to Brian. I don't need his last name, Christine. I just need his first name, and that's enough. After Moonstruck, we have Chris. So after Moonstruck, we're gonna have Chris, and we'll do the reading to find out what's your relationship. So if you want to know what's your relationship with a loved one or not so loved one, you can put it there. Just make sure you give me their first name so I can pull up the information, okay? So please give me... Do I have permission to connect to Christine? Please. Connect, thank you. Okay, so I'm connected. So Spirit, can you tell me what is the relationship between her and Brian? Okay, so Christine, your relationship is flame cousin, okay? So they're part of your bouquet, in the same bouquet that you live in, but they're not in the same flower. They're in a different flower from the bouquet, okay? So that's your relationship with that person. And your relationship with this person, the purpose is to learn to take responsibility for actions, okay? To learn to take responsibility for actions. And there's nothing else here. The energy qualities between you and this person, okay, and Brian, okay, is... So the energy quality of your relationship with this person is at its highest expression when you are practicing self-forgiveness and forgiveness, okay? Self-forgiveness and forgiveness. That's the highest expression of your relationship with that person. The challenges that I see here are cords, and we're going to go ahead and clear those cords for you. So sometimes energetic cords can get overwhelming, and we're going to clear and release. Thank you. I also see here that there's some contracts. I'm going to clear those contracts. These are old contracts that don't serve you as souls anymore. So we're going to clear those contracts that don't serve. Okay. And then for you, solutions, we're going to clear blocks and interferences between you and Brian. So we're clearing that. Please clear. And then another healing action that you can do with Brian, I'm getting the word Reiki. So Reiki, just practicing Reiki for yourself, and then just imagining your relationship with this person, and sending Reiki to that relationship. Okay? And and that will really help your relationship with Brian, okay? I am complete. Please disconnect from Christine. Thank you. Okay, so the next one is Chris. And I have some comments here. You found the one, it would until you were 52 years old, but you found them eventually. And that's what matters, right? That's what matters. That you find your loved one. So, okay, so Chris, I'm gonna go ahead and check for you. What's your relationship with Sharon? And you want to know if you want to confirm if Sharon is your twin flame or is a twin flame for you. So Spirit, please, do I have permission to connect to Chris? Please connect to her higher self. Thank you, Spirit. What's the percentage? Okay, so Spirit, we would like to know between Chris and Sharon, what is the relationship between her and Sharon? Okay. All right, so I am getting a yes on twin flame. Okay, yes, that person is your twin flame. And I'm going to check your purpose with this person. Okay, so your purpose with this person is to learn friendships, okay? So your relationship purpose with this person, with this soul on this lifetime, was to learn friendships. Also, the energy qualities between you and this soul is freedom. So freedom is the energy quality, the highest expression of the energy quality between you guys. So that's when you know that you are the highest expression between you and them, okay? I see here also there's a little bit of codependence energy, so we're going to clear those challenges of codependency between you and Sharon, okay? And I see here also the challenge of illusion. Illusion is very common because, we come here and then we're living the 3D. So we're going to have the illusion of these things that we're experiencing as so real, right? So we're clearing that. That's the challenge. And then solutions between you and her. We're going to clear blocks to poise. So it sounds like you had a hard time keeping your, sometimes, or either you or her had a hard time keeping your cool. So we're clearing that for you. And then also there was a little bit of fear involved. So we're going to go ahead and clear that. Clear and let go of fear. Thank you, Spirit. And there was also taking responsibility for actions. So, we're going to clear anything that is keeping you from taking responsibility of actions between you and this soul, okay? And even if they're your ex, it doesn't matter, You learned your lesson, and now it's just a matter of just sending the energy of that healing. So I'm seeing here, okay, so healing. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and apply some healing between you and her. And that is it, okay? So, she need to clear anything in this routine? No. Okay, so that is it for you. And we're going to go ahead and disconnect from your higher self now. Thank you. Please disconnect from Chris's higher self. Thank you, Spirit. All right. So the next person, Love Marie. She's saying, I have someone I want to check the connection. His name is Keegan. All right. Let's take a look at Keegan. No. So that's a good question, Christy. So if they're a flame cousin doesn't mean that you don't pursue. I mean, my husband is a flame. He's a flame sibling, and I still pursued it. So It's really up to you. If you want to connect with that person, and you feel the connection, then I don't see why not. And this is where I disagree with the concept of just waiting for the twin flame, because you can still have divine union with another soul. Divine union can still be with another soul. It doesn't have to be only with a twin flame. Divine union is not exclusive to the twin flame journey. So it's important that you know, if you're feeling connected to that person and you're feeling inspired to be with that person, don't let these concepts take you away from your experience here on this planet. So if your experience is to want to be with this person, then definitely, like follow your heart, follow your intuition. But if you're feeling like, this person is not someone you connect with, then, I mean, definitely that could potentially explain why you don't connect with them. But that's not necessarily the only reason. Like there could be so many, that's actually it's not a good enough reason, right? Like your soul relationship has nothing to do with the quality of your relationship with here on this planet. Does that make sense? So let me know. You're welcome, Chris. Yeah, but that's a very good question. Thank you for saying that, Moonstruck, Christine, because that's definitely important. A really good thing that a really good question that I feel people don't, that people may have, and they may step away from, from pursuing something just because it's not what they perceived, based on the concepts that they learn, on the experience of seeking spiritual development. So definitely follow your heart. Okay, that's the main thing. Okay, I have someone I want to check. Okay, so we're gonna check on Keegan. So let's go ahead and check on Marie. Do I have permission to connect to Marie's? Love Marie's. Yeah. Please connect to her higher self. Thank you. Okay, so your relationship with Keegan. Let's take a look at what's your relationship with Keegan. What's her relationship with Love Marie's relationship with Keegan? Okay, so your relationship with Keegan is not flame. Is actually like the distant cousins, like I was mentioning. So they're not part of your he's not part of your same bouquet. So that's what I would consider. I consider a soulmate or a soul. Just like I call it soulmate because, I mean, they're still mates. They're still friends. They're still, so he definitely has that quality of soul, of this, outside of the flame. Okay. But however, you still have purpose with those people in your lives. So what I see here is that you're learning self-preservation with this soul. So this soul is teaching you self-preservation. That's the soul relationship purpose between you guys, and there's nothing else. And then the energy qualities here is you are on the highest expression of your relationship with the soul when you are in awareness of self, of how you affect others, how they affect you, awareness of self and others. Okay. And so that's the highest expression of your energy quality between you guys. And I see here that there is addictive energy between you guys. We're going to clear that energy. So let's clear the addictive energy. Thank you, Spirit. This is one of the challenges that I see here for you. I see a little bit of codependence. We're going to clear that energy as well so that it can be shifted over into interdependence, okay? Okay, there's nothing else here. Now, I see here that, yeah, it could be very, so we're going to clear blocks to poise between you and this person, okay? Sometimes it could be a little intense. Maybe you get like intense discussions and things of that nature where you kind of lose a little bit of your cool, right? So, and then also we're going to clear any noise that is keeping you from taking responsibility for your actions. So we have to take responsibility for our actions in our relationships because we're not, there's always a two-way street in everything. So just remembering that. Okay, is there anything else here? I'm seeing here that some of the healing actions for you is to apply colors. And how do you apply colors is by visualizing the color being infused first to you, and then you send it out to your connection with that person. I'm seeing here deep violet for you, and that's with Archangel Zadkiel. So you can call upon Archangel Zadkiel and connect to that diva, especially when you're feeling a little bit where the energy is a little off. You can visualize that deep violet and just, you know, first connect it to you. Okay, first you fill your cup, and once you feel good, then you can just ask Archangel Zadkiel to send that violet, deep violet energy out to your person of interest. Okay, with Keegan. Okay, so that is it. We're going to go ahead and disconnect from your higher self now. Thank you, Marie. Please disconnect. Okay, thank you. All right, let me see. There's some comments here. Okay, so Sandra, I'll get to you. I'm going to check to see if there's anyone else here. Let me see. I want to make sure I didn't miss anyone. You're so very welcome. You're so very welcome. So, yeah, and then all of this stuff, you guys, you'll learn how to do yourself. You quite literally will learn how to do yourself. And I will teach you this on my class that I will be teaching on January 21st. So it's really fun. I think it's fun to find out these things. Like I just love being able to see different perspectives on the relationships so that I can, you know, it helps to see why things happen and how they happen, and at least understand it so that we don't feel so frustrated and so lost in the emotional charge of things, right? So that's how I feel. All right, Sandra. So you're saying, what is the connection between me and Rob? I was beside with him, but he didn't feel the same about me. Okay. Okay, so let's take a look and see what's your relationship, Sandra, okay? So just give permission to your higher self to connect to mine, and we'll go ahead and take a look. So please connect to Sandra's higher self. Percentage connection. Thank you. All right, what is her relationship with Rob, please? Okay, so your relationship with Rob is actually the soul relationship with Rob is flame sibling. So he's a flame sibling, okay? So it's a step out of a twin flame. And your soul relationship purpose with him was to learn friendships, okay? To learn friendships. That was the relationship, the purpose. The energy quality that that expresses within that relationship, that expresses in the highest expression of your relationship with this person, with Rob, is to be able to attain wisdom and to be expressing wisdom. So you are in the highest expression of your relationship when you are gathering wisdom, and also he is gathering wisdom. So both of you are gathering wisdom from that relationship, from that friendship. Okay. I see some challenges here. There were some contracts, some old contracts that don't serve the highest good between you guys. So I'm clearing that between you guys. Okay. We're clearing those contracts. Sometimes what happens is that we need to update certain things. It's almost like, you know, having like an old shelf that hasn't been cleaned forever, and then that's what we do. We go in there and we clean the shelf and we take out all the old papers that are no longer from the year. They're like, you know, 50 years old or something, and they're no longer valid, right? So that's the purpose. Now I also see some challenges with cords, and that makes sense because they're related to contracts. So we're clearing the cords between you guys so that way there's no energetic noise between you, okay? So we're clearing that. Thank you, Spirit. Okay, and so there's nothing else here. And I do see here some solutions. Okay, we're going to clear the aura for you guys. So there is an essence, an auric expression between you and a soul, okay, your relationship. So whenever you think about them, your aura may change colors. So, and there's certain aspect of your aura that connects to other souls. So we're gonna clear that energy between that energetic field in your auric field, so that you can connect clearer with those that you love, your loved ones, and those who you connect with on a daily basis. Okay, so we're clearing that for you. And then we clear, and then also it says to walk away from, it says violence, but when I say violence, that's not only physical, it can be also emotional, okay? I know it's a very strong word, but sometimes this is carried over from other lifetimes. So we are clearing that, okay? So we're clearing that. And I see here a little bit of energy of guilt too between you guys. So I'm going to clear that as well. I'm going to clear and let go of guilt. Thank you, Spirit. Anything else? No. Okay, I'm being told to share a color as well that you want to infuse or visualize whenever you're thinking about this person. You want to visualize this color and ask that this color is applied between you, both of you, okay? Not only to you, first to you, and then send to him. And I have here pale blue. I'm gonna apply it for you, but you can imagine this pale blue color and this Archangel Haniel. So you can connect to Archangel Haniel and ask Archangel Haniel, especially if you're experiencing a challenge when you're thinking about Rob. You can go ahead and ask Archangel Haniel to apply that pale blue color to you and just meditate on that. Breathe in that beautiful pale blue. And then once you feel full and your heart is full, then you can ask Archangel Haniel to send that energy also to Rob, okay? All right, so. Okay, so please disconnect. I am complete. Thank you, Spirit. So that was a relationship. You're so very welcome. You're now friends now. So there you go. So you're in the expression of what you're meant to be expressing on this lifetime. So this gives you the confirmation, which is great. You know, like I feel it's so great to be able to get those confirmations and be able to see our relationships from that spiritual perspective. It really opens our hearts. And it allows us to really just, you know, not get so caught up in the energy of the emotions and the emotional upheaval that sometimes do show up when we connect with our loved, beloved soul family members, because you know they're here to really serve us. And that's the beauty of those relationships, is that they are really here to serve us. So yeah, so powerful. So yeah, so that is basically it. If there's anyone else that wants a reading, let me know in the comments. Otherwise, we will go ahead and also start closing down the session. But if there's any more questions in regards to what I mentioned about relationships, or so really, maybe you have a little question that showed up for you, or a question about a specific loved one that you have, or not so loved one, then you can let me know in the comments. So you're so very welcome, Sandra. I'm so happy, you know, that I'm able to give you guys these perspectives, and I really love this question from Christine. You know, if someone is a flame cousin, does that mean I don't need to pursue a real relationship as they're not my twin flame? And that is so not true. You know, imagine if I didn't pursue my relationship with my husband, then I wouldn't be, you know, just because I don't have a twin flame and I already know that my twin flame is not going to be incarnated, why would I stop my life from expressing beauty and opportunity when I can just choose to? And remember, we are the powerful creators of our lives, so you get to choose that as well. You're so very welcome. Yes. Awesome. So if I told you that you needed a clearing with SRT, you can go into my website, thebloominglotushealing.com. Also, that was related to relationships. But if you have anything else that you are struggling with, maybe your finances, or maybe your purpose, or maybe it is, other sort of situation, like, work situation or career, or whatever. We can also check, especially if you feel called from your heart space. All of those who come with me or come to me are typically called by their higher self. So your higher self basically is the one that shares that with you. So, Anis, what type of reading do you recommend for general information and clearing? So for that, I would say just a spiritual response therapy session. And I would recommend just if you want a general and you want spirit just to clear in general, because we can do that, and spirit knows what needs to be cleared for you sometimes. And then we set that intention to clear what spirit recommends to clear for you. You can do just a spiritual response therapy session, and that typically it can run either 1 hour or 2 hours. Typically, I recommend people, if it's your first time, 2 hours, but so that you have time to also ask questions. But 1 hour should be sufficient if you just have one intention to clear. But if you don't have an idea of what to clear, we can check for you right now, Anis, and see if there's anything that needs to be cleared for you in the Akashic Records. Would you like me to check that for you? Let me know. And I can check that for you right now. But yeah, so the beauty of doing this work is that, again, we are clearing the energy so that we can express ourselves on the highest expression. Okay, let me check for you. Chris says, have you come across people online that you know as part of your soul family? Yes, Chris, I have. That's a very good question, actually. Yes, I have. And some people I don't know personally, but I connect to them in my dreams, and it's really interesting, because it's like, wow, this person is connected and we're connected, and I don't know them personally, but they're we definitely have that beautiful connection. So yeah, that's definitely a possibility too. Because I feel like with the internet, we the world gets so much smaller now, because the internet just really connects us so amazingly. Okay, Anna, so let's go ahead and check to see. I'm going to connect to your higher self now, okay? So please, do I have permission to connect to Anna's higher self? Please connect to her higher self. Is there anything I need to be clear for? So I'm getting a yes for you, and I'm seeing here, okay, something in regards to, okay, so personal integrity, what that means is that it has to do with things, for example, saying yes to things that don't really align with you sometimes, and then you get frustrated. Also, I see here family, life, and children. And I see here life, meaning, and purpose for you. So I see here for you, we would probably do best with a 2-hour session. But we can always tackle them in different sessions if you want to do just a 1 hour at a time. But yeah, so personal integrity is an important step of us being able to express our divine truth, and being able to be aligned with ourselves, right? So that's the reason why it's important that we really pay attention to how we make decisions. Like every action that we take that is not aligned with our truth can potentially make us it creates a domino effect that is not for our highest good. So that's what we clear there. It's like, and I see here that everything is from other lifetimes. Sometimes we can clear programs from this lifetime, but I see for you it's other lifetimes that we need to clear this stuff from. Okay, so it's just decisions that you've made in the past lives that didn't align with your truth, and that are now programs that keep affecting you now. Okay, and I do see here that that's also affecting your life, meaning, and purpose, and also your family life. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and if you want to write this down, personal integrity, family life and children, and life, meaning, and purpose, so that you can set those intentions, and you can maybe meditate on that before you book your session. And I have some openings for next week, I believe, so you can go ahead and go online and book your session, and then we can work on that. Okay, and then you can start your year with new energy. So, okay, so I'm going to go ahead and disconnect from your higher self now. Thank you, Spirit. Please disconnect. I'm complete. Okay, so I have disconnected. Yeah, so I'm connected to you. Yes. But yeah, so we're all connected. So there's one thing, y'all. We're all connected too, okay? It's just, you're so very welcome, Sandra. But again, the level of closeness, right, is what makes a difference. Like if we're flames or not. Yeah, I'm excited too. I'm so excited. I can't wait to connect with you and clear all that gunk. This is what I live for, y'all. I live for that stuff. Yeah, seashells. I can pull something for you. So seashells is asking. It's funny because I just got some new cards. I got this Animal Apothecary by Kara Elizabeth. I'll pull something for you from here. I love this deck so much. I'll pull something from here. And then I'll pull something from my from the astrology deck too. So actually we'll start with that first. We'll start with the astrology deck first. Yeah. I love it, y'all. I got you, seashells. Okay, so we got something here in regards to your inner child that is showing up. Okay. And communicating, I'm hearing communicating your needs. Okay. Oh, okay. Learning how to communicate your needs with others, and also so you've had some issues with your inner child, and sometimes that creates conflict between you and other people, or also how you relate to others, and also how this in turn affects your abundance. And the abundance can be expressed in many ways. The abundance of love, abundance of money, abundance. But this, I feel, it's more in relationships. Okay, so oh yeah, Chris, I'm gonna be posting the workshop soon. I will let you guys know once the link is ready, but I'm just kind of announcing it now. But I'm so excited you're signing up. Yay! I will post it. I have to still create it on the platform, but I'm just putting it out there. I've been announcing it now just so people are prepared. But I'm so excited you're gonna sign up. So but once the link is ready, I will actually let everyone know. Okay. But yeah, the pendulum class is up, but which is actually part of the workshop is going to be pendulum as well, pendulum class. But anyway, going back, I digressed. Love Marie, not Love Marie, but Marie Seashells. So this affects your abundance, okay? Your abundance of expression, okay? So you want to make sure that you work towards that. You work towards doing a little bit of inner child work and connecting to your inner child, okay? And also practicing compassion with yourself and practicing that self-intimacy with yourself, okay? That's going to really connect you to your inner truth. It's going to connect you to your abundance, right? To your abundance of who you truly are. Because again, but the issue is that conflict, you gotta find that resolution to your inner conflict. You're always kind of like pulling. I feel like you're pulling one way or another internally. Like you haven't been able to find a balance within yourself. And the only way that you can do that is by working with that inner child. Okay, so doing things that are going to, even just looking at old pictures will ignite some of that for you. Okay. So, okay. So that is it. And let me see, we're going to send some healing to you as well to help support you with your inner child. Okay. Archangel Raphael wants to send you some healing. So we're going to apply some energy healing for you. And Archangel Raphael is letting me know to tell you to close your eyes and visualize this beautiful green light coming through your heart space, coming into your heart space and expanding into your entire body. And Archangel Raphael is asking me to let you know that you want to close your eyes and think about yourself when you were a child at this moment. Think yourself as a child and visualize Archangel Raphael holding you as when you were a child. Okay, just visualize that. And just continue to visualize that. And I see here some energies of conflict for you that were going to be cleared. Remember, we were talking about conflict in the cards. Okay, we're clearing some energies of hate of life as well for you. Okay. There are some blocks to positive expression of optimism in your life. So we're going to go ahead and clear that block of optimism for you. Okay, we're going to clear some imprints of the belief that your brain doesn't work properly. So it's important that you speak about your brain like it's good and it works properly. Please clear, remove, and send to perfect place. Thank you, Spirit. Please clear, remove, and send to perfect place. Okay, so that is it for you, Marie Seashells. We disconnect from your higher self now. Thank you. Thank you, Spirit. Yeah, I will have the link, y'all, ready. So you can sign up for the workshop. I'm so excited. It's gonna be about 4 weeks. So we'll have to figure out how often you guys want to meet. I was thinking about meeting every week, but it's up to you guys. We'll have a conversation about on the first class. So now this is it. We're gonna go ahead and disconnect. Hello, Marsha. Hello. Welcome. I hope that you guys enjoyed this session with me. And next week I will have someone. And I do remember, you're so very welcome, Seashells. I do go live on Instagram every Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. So you can come on Instagram and get some readings and healings, and we have some fun to, here on YouTube, I tend to be a little bit more educational, but that's the whole idea, is for you to be empowered in your knowledge. It's okay. The replay is there, Marsha, so you'll be able to watch that on the replay. It'll be available here. And then also, I just wanted to remind you that I do have this workshop coming up on the 21st of January. If you want to sign up, make sure that you follow me or sign up for my email list. You can go onto my email list and sign up. Once the link to that workshop is ready, I will be sending it out into my email list, and of course I will announce it here. But if you like what I explained to you today, and you want to learn more about how to connect to the soul purpose of your relationships in your daily lives, then you definitely want to make sure you consider this class. It's going to be really empowering for you, and it's all about you finding the information for yourself so that you can also feel that empowerment of being able to clear energies between you and your loved ones. So we will be able to also align you and into connecting to your higher self, and you'll learn how to use the pendulum, and you'll learn how to navigate the records, how to open your records, how to close your records, and then how to open and research the information and clear the energy between you and your loved one. Now, remember, this is not an SRT class. This is a system, a modality that I created. It's a very small modality, very simple. SRT is more complicated, and I'm not legally able to teach it anyway because I'm not an SRA approved teacher. So because I want to keep things in integrity, I'm not teaching that. I'm teaching a different modality that I created based on everything that I've learned through working with clients, and also, working with SRT and other modalities and readings. So I am so grateful for you guys. I cannot wait to connect with you next week. I'll have Derek from Evolve Me. He's going to be teaching us how to connect to our intuition. He's going to be doing some psychic readings. We're going to be having some fun. So I can't wait for you guys to come in. And you're so very welcome, Chris. And yes, definitely do catch up with me live on Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern. I love you all. Namaste. Thank you for being here. Love you. Merry Christmas to all. See you next week.